Hello tankers and tankettes, and welcome to my new microphone. Yeah, that's right, I finally bought myself a new mic. Hopefully I'll sound a little bit less like I have a cold all the time, because the nature of the headset I was using meant it was rather close to my... I don't know, I think it just produced a rather nasal sound. Although you might think I sound like that regardless, I don't know. I have no idea what the reaction will be to the new sound of me. You know, it's the new high definition PointyHairedJedi, but it's definitely a better microphone. It is unquestionably a better microphone. It's just there might be a slight adjustment period for everybody, myself included. It's actually a pretty good microphone. I was recommended Snowball Blue or something like that, and there were some more expensive ones I was recommended. What was it, Yeti or something like that, which seems an odd name for a brand, but then Snowball was a bit of an odd name for a microphone as well. But the Snowball's the one I went with. It was within my budget, and it seems pretty decent. I don't actually have a pop filter for it yet. I did order one, it just hasn't arrived, so it's not 100% set up excuse me, how I would like it yet, but we're getting there. I thought it was about time I finally ditched the old headset, because frankly it's starting to fall to bits. So, as for this actual replay, this is one of mine. It's one from the stream. It's, I think, 0.84, and it's sort of in keeping with the derpy theme that we've had recently. In that, not only was I playing derpily, why did I just shoot the turret? But there's a certain element of derpiness that actually happens in the match as well. I've pretty much run out of these. I mean, this is, I think, the last one I've got that really fits with that theme. Yeah, you just give your health away there for no reason. You just give him those hit points, Jedi. That's a good plan. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't really intentional, but it kind of started with that KV2 replay just after Christmas, I think it was. And it's not been all derpy replays, but there have been a fair few of them that have been. So Circon and Foch both in the T-49s, and as you can see, this is shaping up to be, you know, there are a lot of enemy heavy tanks here. And we do have a friendly heavy tank, but it's mostly mediums and light tanks. So the IS-7's made a push-up. The 110 E5 is also making a push-up. We really need to dispose of this IS-7, because if we can get his gun out, then that makes things a bit easier for him. Now, I don't know how that bounced inside the E5. I was not having luck with that E5 especially. But he's down as well. The E100 climbed up on the other side, and I don't quite know where that shell went, but it went somewhere, certainly. But in return, his shell goes in my tracks. This was all very, very intense. I think even as it was happening, we were like, what's happening right now? Like, there was just a lot happening at once. And it was certainly one of the more interesting, derpy hill fights we've had on this map. So it's pretty much over now. It's just that lone E100. They've gone from having a bunch of heavy tanks on this corner to not any tanks left at all, really. This E100 is alone, without backup, and surrounded. And I just hit Foch for a large amount of damage there. And I don't know why I was auto-aiming here, by the way. This was a day when I was just playing derpily myself, apparently. I could have just stopped, manually aimed, and gotten at least one hit in before he, you know, an extra hit, probably. But anyway, I've gotten some damage out of that, regardless. And there's some stuff down there I can shoot at as well. And hello, yes, that's 30, right in the top of the turret. Circon gets a big hit into his engine deck. I think it must be his engine deck anyway. 860 hit points nearly. And he's now very low health indeed. So I've auto-aimed, and I just peek over, fire as soon as the reticle looks like it's on, and it actually works. That probably wasn't really deserved. I probably should have actually sat and aimed that shot, but instead I auto-aimed and just used the gun depression and then somehow got away with it. So look at this graveyard of corpses. Was that not a really weird hill fight? Like, just after the battle, even as it was happening in battle, we were like, what's happening right now? It was somewhat unusual. The enemy team, I mean, we've well and truly broken their back at this point. This was their largest concentration of forces, was on this side of the map, and they really didn't... I don't even know what happened, to be honest. I mean, it just... that driving there. They just kind of got spanked, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I guess gun depression had something to do with it, because we had the high ground advantage, and the IS-7 especially having to come up to meet us, we were able to use our gun depression over his gun depression, because he's the IS-7. And we've literally come down to 2 tanks at this point. 1 tank. That was a big hit from RC to that Centurion 7-1. So it was... it shows why high ground is important in this game, but it also shows why, from our point of view, why sticking together is a good way of doing things, and why being able to coordinate on something like TeamSpeak and be able to direct your fire and do things like that is also very, very important. So yeah, that was kind of a weird game, and this was a fairly short replay, but I just wanted to run in the new mic and get some feedback, see what you all think. So as the actual scores for that battle show, we did quite well out of that. It was actually the Leopard PTA that was with us on there that did the best of anybody. He had over 4k damage. He picked up a lot of hit points from those enemy heavy tanks. Foch and Circon both did pretty well. I did alright as well. I was actually sandwiched in between those two. Foch was in 2nd place, I was in 3rd, Circon in 4th, and then after that, there was actually quite an even distribution of damage on that team. The Leopard PTA had the most damage of anybody, but after that it was all kind of like 2k, 3k damage for half the team list, so we had a pretty decent team overall. And then on the enemy side, you know, they had a reasonable damage distribution as well, but it kind of fell off a bit more, and the heavies that were actually fighting on the hill there didn't do that much damage between them, even though I did carelessly give away some of my hit points for no apparent reason. So, yes, let me know what you think of the new microphone. I'm still figuring out an optimal setup for this. At the moment, I'm literally sitting here holding it in my hand to get it a bit closer, because if I have it too far away, it sounds very echoey, but I don't want to have it too close at the moment because, of course, I don't have the pop filter. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's a bit more awkward when I'm streaming or recording live as well, because the way my desk is set up, it has to kind of sit by my arm, and I'm going to have to remember to speak louder when I'm doing those. But for now, for doing the post-battle recordings, it actually, I think it probably will be more suitable for me to sit here and actually hold the thing so I can speak more directly into it. But we'll see. As I said, let me know what you think. I'm not maybe expecting everyone to be 100% pleased with it, because these kind of changes are... The old headset is what everybody was used to by this point, including myself, so it's going to be a bit weird at first, so just bear with me, give it a chance. I don't particularly want to send this thing right up back, because it's not the cheapest microphone in the world, and it's actually a quite good quality microphone. I just need to figure out how to get the best out of it. So, if you enjoyed this replay, you can hit the like button, you can leave any comments below, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.